Alright, we're doing the mix and master. Let's try to fly through this thing really quickly. This is a special case. All of these tracks are distorted, except for this tiny piece right here. See that? But everything else is distorted. This is how your vocals should be. If your vocals are like this, they're touching the sides, they're distorted, or they're clipping. Either way, you recorded that out at a high volume, or you were just screaming loud. Alright, so I gotta find the tempo. Alright, let's see. This is the bass drop, I think. Or maybe this is. Yeah, it's this. So it's gonna line that up with the number 9. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Hold on. I think there's a, you gotta get the space out in the beginning. So a squiggly line all the way in the top right of the keyboard for that snap off. Boom. Now we're just gonna cut the rest so they're still on beat with this beat. This needs auto-tune severely. Just put L right there, boom, loop it. I'm just gonna build the chain for this hook right now.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my home.
I feel like this beat is distorted too. That's a whole nother dragon.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts. Feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an eye.
Gonna drive down. We already have a distorted sound. You don't want to add more distortion on distortion.
So I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night.
TB.
Family first, raise my.
Hold up. If you don't have, this is a free compressor, so this is what you got to do before you leave that comment talking about you don't have this compressor. You go to Google and you look at this name. Look, it says Leveling Tool. And this is the company it's by. But mostly you just got to type the name of the VST. So you'll type Leveling Tool VST in Google and boom, the download link will come up. You just get that. Now, this is a TB compressor. This is TB parametric EQ. And if you don't have Pro Studio, then you're not going to have this. So I'm going to try looking. So alternative for this is the Tiny EQ. It's free. Like I said, go on Google, type in Tiny EQ VST, and it'll pop up. Or Tiny Q, that's what it's called. Same thing. It's the same thing I'm doing. Literally, they have the same bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing. Alright. On with it.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropped.
I usually do this with the song playing, but both of them are just so distorted that I really can't even tell. So I'm just doing everything individually.
Been in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold.
Alright, so I pulled it up. I was just trying to find the frequency that was the most distorted, and I pulled it down so it sounds less distorted. So I think that's good for that. Boom. Throw a limiter on this joint just so make sure it doesn't clip. We're gonna skip the sausage fattener or a saturation plugin because again this is already distorted. Let's see if this thing got any background noise to see if we need to add a gate.
I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind.
Now I don't have any background noise, but let me just A/B what we just did now, the difference.
I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out.
Big difference. All right, DS. I don't know if he's saying the S words, but it doesn't hurt to have this joint on.
I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choice.
Alright, perfect. Now, what we doing? I guess it's the final compressor. Is it? Yeah, final compressor. I'm not used to having to change this little.
I just dropping in a cold night, family first.
Alright, I just learned a new trick with this compressor. If you turn it, the RMS, that's if you wanted to compress like the overall vocal on average, like compress the whole vocal. And the peak is it will focus more on peaks that, you know, like a snare hit. First it's a peak, then it's a ramp down. It looks, you know, it hits and then it like kind of fades down. So it will focus on just the hit. And but this is vocal, so we don't have peaks that just, unless you're doing just random chants. But you know, vocals, they keep going. They're like, yeah. So turn it this way for vocals. Turn it this way for like snares or something. That was complicated. I usually start out with like 60, 40. You gotta go in portions of 100. So 60, 40, 100. And then I'll go up to 70, 30, 80, 20. You get it? Because this side, the left side is the RMS side. So, yeah, it's going to be more towards the compressing the vocal on average.
I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my
Let's bring up this
whole
threshold.
life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night, family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, post, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go.
What we're trying to do, we're not. This is the final compressor. It's supposed to just glue all of these effects together. Like so we don't want to destroy this thing, and plus there's already, like, when it's distorted, there's already, the dynamics are already gone. So we're basically just trying to just sandwich this thing, really.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my.
Now with these compressors, they do bring up extra frequencies, so we're gonna have to use a multiband compressor, which basically is a EQ and a compressor at the same time. So with an EQ, you would just take out a frequency, and that frequency will be gone for the whole song. But with a multiband compressor, once that frequency is present, then it starts compressing. So it doesn't. You don't have to sit here and have that frequency gone for the whole song. It just makes your voice sound more natural. All right. And if you don't have this, you don't have to have this one. Here's a free one right here. It's called let me say 5 or Siri. I don't know. Just type. You see this name? Look at that name and then type it on Google. Google works wonders. All right, let's
I just dropping in a cold night. Family.
There's more by adding that compressor. Is more distortion coming from the low mids. So we're gonna focus on that area.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though.
I could control how much it's getting turned down with this range. So I'm just gonna put it down to -8.
I just dropping in a cold.
Oh God, pull it back up.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just
go with soft knee. Hard knee is too harsh. So let's bring this down to like 3. I don't wanna attack it too hard.
I just dropping in a cold.
Bring it back up. Oh God. Bring it to 4.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight.
I think that's good. It's like, oh God, every time you mixing, you move one little thing and it just destroys it. All right, let's see how it sounds now.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind.
All right, let's A-B this from what was before.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window.
That's like a brand new vocal right there. All right, say that chain. It's called as Shooters. That's the name of the song. Now, just go here, pull this up. Boom. 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 Shooters. Actually, I want to try something. I'm gonna remix this and see what the audio form looks like with those effects on. Oh boy, this is taking long. This is 2 vocals. Alright, let's see. See, I lowered it. I lowered it a little. See, this one is mostly touching the sides. Now this one is like barely even touching the sides. Only on the peak. Like it peaks and then it doesn't touch the side no more. Yeah. Let's just show y'all what we did visually. Let's see what it sounds like. Hold on, I need to get that auto-tune going. Pronto. Find a key of the song. Perfect. Alright, just gonna back the auto tune off just a tad, just so it's not so Travis Scott. Had to put this damn throat length because I don't know, just the tone of it. It's like it's on key, but it just sounds weird. So basically, this throat length just makes it deeper. So it's regular. This is gonna be in the background, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just drown this thing in reverb. Excuse me. Jesus, I'm like off 3 Red Bulls right now. It's like, no, I don't drink Red Bulls.
Street posts, filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made those made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so. Yeah.
fucking up. D minor.
Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so.
I'm gonna spread this joint because I feel like I don't want it in the middle messing with the main vocal, so I'm just gonna use this free plugin. Majority of the plugins I use is free, so it's called Chorus CH2. This is just go on Google, type in Chorus CH2, and then it's a preset like this, wide guitar. It's just gonna spread it to left and right ears. If we're gonna do this, we gotta take out all the lows so it doesn't mess with the stereo field.
They hitting street poles, feeling those a bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in.
Now you can hear both of them at the same time, since the main vocal is occupying the mid, and then I put this harmony vocal in the sides. So that one's in the mid and this one's in the side, so they both can be heard. If they were both in the mid, then they'll be stacked on top of each other, fighting for space.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street poles, feeling those are bullet holes. It's getting bloody though, running with a blindfold. Where my life go, choices that I made though, made me an asshole. I just dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody.
All of this is gonna have to get auto-tuned because he's singing on all of them, or doing that little sing rap thing. So let's put this at 10. Low male. Alright, let's go. Oh, if you don't have auto-tune, you can use either this plugin, I burn sounds Grillion. This one's cool too. Let me just disable this one, show you what it sounds like. It's not as smooth as auto-tune, but it has its own little flavor to it. So we just find the key, D minor, minor, boom.
And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets doing bold. And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets doing bold.
I like this inertia now. It gives it it's a different tone every time.
And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets doing bold.
If you want a more realistic sound, you push it more towards slow, but for the Travis Scott sound, you go too fast.
And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets doing bold.
What is inertia about?
And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets doing bold.
Yeah,
Feeling those are bullet holes. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my. It's a story never told, and the streets doing bold.
you can blend it to make it even more natural with your dry voice and a correction voice.
And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul. Nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street poles.
I gotta take all the lows out this voice because it's messing with the main.
I just drop it, and it feels so cold.
Now I'm not about to take it out to the point where it's thin. See, this is thin right here.
Let me feel my soul.
Almost like a telephone effect. We don't want that. We just want a tad bit lows taken out so it's not in the way of the main vocal.
In a cold night, family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts. Feeling those are bullet holes, it's getting bloody though. Running with a bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first raised my whole.
Now I have an idea of having When It Feels So Cold on one ear, and then Streets Unknown, I think, and then it goes in the right ear. So instead of doing that manually, we're just gonna put an auto pan on this. This is free too. This is a whole. You see this whole section right here with the DDs? This whole thing is free. DD stands for Dead Duck. So you go on Google, you type in Dead Duck plugins, and you get that whole pack free. Hopefully it stays free. Alright. I'm gonna sync it to the tempo so it's on beat. Then this width knob controls how far into the left and right ears it's gonna go. So let me show y'all.
And it feels so cold. Let me feel my soul.
See, it's going to the left ear right in the middle of this thing, so I'm gonna have to go to 2-to-1 now.
And it feels so cold. Let me feel my soul.
Alright, let me try 4-to-1.
And it feels so cold. Let me feel my soul. It's a story never told. And the streets doing bold.
It's like a little slow sway.
And it feels so cold. Let me feel my soul. It's a story never told. And the streets doing bold.
The further that the vocal goes in the left and right ear, the more lows you gotta take out of the vocal, because it just gets too aggressive in that ear, because it's just too much.
Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts. Feeling dope.
Now you can hear it. Now it's not in the way. You can still hear it, but it's not in the way.
Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window.
I'm gonna add a flanger to this too, just to give it some flavor. Let's see how it sounds.
They hitting cold. Let me feel my soul. It's a story never told. And the streets doing bold. On a cold night, family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up. Family first raised. Let me feel my soul. Nobody about my.
Now, that's cool. I need to add reverb to probably all of these tracks, instead of just going in and clicking, trying to redo what I just did on the harmony track. I'm just gonna put a send track, and I'm just gonna send this reverb to each one of them. So hold on, let me save this reverb, what we did here. Call it shooter, so I don't have to do this again. Shooter, now that's on the send track. Now I don't have to sit here and just keep clicking reverb, go to this one, click reverb. Now I could just click these 3 dots, drop down, reverb, pull this up. Now this track got reverb.
Bodies dropping and it feels so cold. Let me feel my soul. It's a story never told. And the streets doing bold.
Now when your tracks are, when all the tracks are the same reverb, it feels more they feel more blended and meshed together.
On a cold night, family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my.
Sometimes the reverb gets muddy though if you don't, cause I don't like the low cut in here. I feel like it doesn't it's not as good as an EQ low cut. This little bass thing, this isn't cutting out the lows. If you have lows in your reverb, it's gonna make everything, it's gonna clash with the 808, so you gotta get all that out. Hold on, gotta go over here.
And it feels so cold.
It's hitting 100. That's a lot.
It's a story never told, and the streets don't know.
Damn. Come on.
Cold, let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets don't know.
Muffle it a little.
And it feels so cold, let me feel my soul.
Not too much.
It's a story never told. So tight, shooters out the window. They hit the street post, feeling dope.
Alright, that's good. Now, let's put some more on there. I really can't hear it.
Family first, raise my home. Let me feel my soul. It's a story never told, and the streets don't bow.
Alright, we gotta put it to, like, all the way wet because I'm gonna just be cranking this thing.
And it feels so cold. Let me feel my soul. It's a story never told. Locked up so tight. Shooters out the bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feeling bodies dropping in a cold.
Alright, did we get this one? Yeah, we got it with the auto tune. If you put an effect on, make sure it goes before your compressor, because the compressor should be the last thing. Alright, this is on. Let's put some reverb on there. This one got a little bit too much low, so we're just gonna trim it a little bit.
Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family.
Did we forget the main vocal? What are we doing? Alright, so put it on main vocal too. D minor. This is a low. He's singing low, so we're gonna put it on low mel. Humanized, all that. Let's see how it sounds.
Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody.
Hold on, let me see if I'm still recording. Yes, I am.
Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go. Choices that I made though made me an asshole. Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. Bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up.
Hold on, this flanger is like stopping me from hearing what these words are saying. So I'm gonna just pull back on the dry wet, so it's not so aggressively on there.
Family first, bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window. They hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go. Choices that I made though made me an asshole. Shots from long range. We cashing back plays. You reaching weed spray. We aim for your chains. The streets is so stained. Give out for chump change. I had to make plays. The stacking bread way. You know I got the city on lock. Cash on me every finna drop. Dripping in the bag. I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you up to grab it from the spot. Loading up in case it's time to make a nigga flop.
This is an overdub, but I didn't do overdub effects on this track. I don't know what I guess these are the overdub for the hook. So we're just gonna have to make a new track for the verse overdub. Just boop boop. And I think this is the verse overdub too. Boop. Let me get some silence. I don't like having, I like having my stuff together. Boom. Shift. Oh, you can't do that. Dang. Control W to merge it. Oh my God, is it gonna crash? Hold up. Alright guys, it just crashed on us, whatever. Damn. Alright, just back to what we were doing. Create a new track. Drop this down. Drop this down. I forget the merging. I'm not about to keep opening this thing again. So we're just gonna call this overdub. What an overdub is basically, it's just saying, you're just layering what you're saying basically. And an ad lib is saying something different. It's like yeah, ooh, type stuff. Oh God. Sorry. Let's go.
I got the city on lock. Cash on me, everything to drop.
Oops.
Back and bread way, you know I got the city.
Now we gotta put the effects on here, cause this is dry. Well, overdubs, I like to put choruses on them and spread them out. So this is from the Dead Duck plugin pack. I have my presets. So I'll just go to overdub for starters.
City on lock. Cash on me, everything to drop. Jumping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you with the grabber from the spot.
Alright, this is a little bit too aggressive, so we're gonna pull back on a wet mix.
Cash on me, everything to drop. Jumping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top.
And I'm gonna take some lows out. It's too thick.
Cash on me, everything to drop. Dripping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you up to grab her from the spot. Load it up in case it's on to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep it 30 clip. Cash on me, everything to drop. Dripping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you up to grab her from the spot. Load it up in case it's on to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep it 30 clip. Left the chip in the Glock.
Hold on, now the main vocal is starting to overwhelm this. Now I can't even hear it, even though I'm putting at a good volume. So we're just gonna have to make this vocal just thicker, so it doesn't get drowned out too bad. We're just gonna come to this compressor, pull down the attack, throw up the ratio 5:1, pull up some of the pull it more to wet, pull up the drive.
Cash on me, everything to drop. Dripping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you up to grab her from the spot. Load it up in case it's on to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep it 30 clip, left and chip in the Glock. Shooters on me loaded and they equal with the stocks. Hitters off the addy focus when it's time to rock. Seeing not too close around me, tell them spin a block. Kicking niggas doors down, who got time to knock. Ayy, everything to drop. Dripping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you up to grab her from the spot. Load it up in case it's on to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep it 30 clip, left and check in the Glock. Shooters on me loaded and they equal with the stocks. Hitters up the addy focus when it's time to rock. Seeing not too close around me till I spin a block.
Alright, now it's thicker, so you're kind of hearing both of them at the same time at a little bit of a higher volume now. Let's go to the mixer. I don't need most of this. It's like a lot of mids in here now. I just need a high end.
Dripping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what she giving top. Hit you up to grab her from the spot. Load it up in case it's time to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep it 30 clip, left and chip in the Glock. Shooters on me loaded and they equal with the stocks. Hitters off the addy focus when it's time to rock. Seeing not too close around me, tell them spin a block. Kicking niggas doors down, who got time to knock. Ayy, bodies dropping in a cold night. Family first, raise my home. Now I got the city on lock. Cash on me, everything to drop. Dripping in the back, I had to stop. Yo, bitch, you know what?
Oh, this thing got a chorus on it already.
Whip she giving top. Hit you up to grab it from the spot. Load it up in case it's time to make a nigga fail. Show me everything to drop. Dripping in the back, I had to stop.
Hear that? It's like another voice on there already. I don't know what's going on here.
Yo, bitch in the whip, she giving top. Hit you up to grab it from the spot. Load it up in case it's time to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep a 30 clip, locked in check, baby, like block. Shooters on me loaded and they equal with the stock. Hitters up the alley, focus when it's on a rock. Seeing not too close around me, tell her spin a block. Kicking niggas' doors down, who got time to knock? Ayy.
Let's compress
Clip locked in check, baby, like Glock. Shooters on me loaded and they equal with the stock. Hitters up the alley, focus when it's time to rock. Seeing not too close around me, tell her spin a block. Kicking niggas' doors down, who got time to knock? Ayy. Items dropping. You up to grab it from the spot. Load it up in case it's time to make a nigga flop. Extended the only way I was raised, right? Honest and work hard. Now I'm so heartless, they wonder where to start. Sticking in a dog pit will make your shell hard. Serving bases and shit. Drinking till I was bent. Trying to make a buck quick. What type of living is this? Nigga flipped on the switch. Then I met the cool kid. Put me on the music. Now I'm killing this shit. But I went through the shit on my own. By my loan. Flexing so hard like I'm really good. But I'm thrown. Niggas think that they relate. If they do, I know they.
Now this beat, man, I don't know how to do, like, how to take or just mix distortion out of beats. There's so many stuff when it comes to beats. You do one thing, you're tweaking the whole track. I don't know.
Got me a couple rides, get some cakes on me, get a little whiff, I'm getting big. Smoky flexing with I see new protect is what I want from me. When I
the highs are getting really distorted, so I'll bring up the highs. Like, no, they're not getting distorted, they're getting muffled. Let's bring it up a little bit.
think that they relate if they.
Last thing to do is I don't really like doing this with the EQ, but to make room for the vocal, I'm gonna dip some mid out because the vocals are in mono and mid is just another word for mono. So I'm gonna dip some mono out in the beat, and then that'll leave room for the vocal to shine through. But rather than just leaving this hollow point out in the beat, I'm gonna pull up some sides so it comes out of the middle and it goes off into the sides. So I'm just spreading it a little and leaving more room for the vocals to shine through. Yeah.
Raised right, honest and work hard. Now I'm so heartless, they wonder where to start. Sticking in a dog pit will make your shell hard. Serving bases and shit, drinking till I was bent. Trying to make a buck quick, what type of living is this? Nigga flipped on the switch, then I met the cool kid. Put me on the music, now I'm killing this shit. But I went through the shit on my own, by my loan, flexing so hard.
The only thing that's probably missing is the delay. That's easy. Boom. Pull up another send track. DD mono. Boom. The only thing with this is you can't do ping pong, so it can't be like a fourth note in the left and a eighth note in the right. So it's just a one delay, hence mono delay. Feedback, pull it up, cut out the lows. You don't want lows in your delay, or you don't want lows in your reverb. Pull it out wide. If you leave it in the middle like this, it's gonna be mono, that's where the vocals are. So you want to try your best to pull everything from the middle and leave the vocals in the middle. Pull this to all the way wet. So what needs this? I guess the hook needs it.
Items dropping in a cold night. Family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an asshole.
So this is not just a dry delay. We're gonna add an effect to delay to make it stand out from the rest. Let's add an OTT.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first raised my whole life.
Now this got extremely loud. So we're gonna put a filter. This is free, by the way, too. So OTT, type that in Google. You know the drill.
I just dropping in a cold night. Family first raised my whole life. Can't tell nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an asshole. Growing up.
Let's get into sharp. What is now?
Family first raised my whole life. Nobody about my mind. Feelings and shit locked up so tight. Shooters out the window, they hitting street posts. Filling those with bullet holes. It's getting bloody though. Running with a blindfold. Where my life go? Choices that I made though made me an. Growing up, they call me sweetheart. I was raised right, honest and work hard. Now I'm so heartless, they wonder where it start. Sticking in a dog pit to make your shell hard. Serving bases and shit, drinking till I was bent. Trying to make it but quick, what type of though made me an asshole. Shots from long range, you reach and we spray, we aim.
Alright, this is the delay is dragging out too long, so we're gonna pull back on the feedback. The feedback is basically how long the delay is gonna keep delaying after, like if I say a word and it delays that word and another word is coming up, how long is that gonna delay take to stop before the other word starts its new delay?
Shots from long range, with cash and back plays. You reach and we spray, we aim for your chains. The streets is so stained, get robbed for chunk change. I had to make plays, the stacking bread way. You know I got the city on lock. Cash on me, everything to drop. Dripping in the bank, I had to stop. Your bitch in the whip, she giving top. Hit you up to grab her from the spot. Loaded up in guess it's time to make a nigga flop. Exit the only way I let a nigga rock. Keep a 30 clip locked and chamber in the Glock. Shooters on me loaded and they equal with the stocks. Hitters off the alley, focus when it's time to rock. Seeing up too close to run me till I spin a block. Kick the niggas doors down, who got time to knock. Ayy, bodies dropping in a cold night. Growing up, they call me sweetheart. I was raised right, honest and work hard. Now I'm so heartless, they wonder where it start. Sticking in a dog pit to make your shell hard. Serving bases and shit, drinking till I was bent. Trying to make it but quick, what type of living is this? Nigga flipped on the switch, then I met the cool kid. Put me on the music, now I'm killing the shit. But I went through the shit on my own, by my lone flexing so.
Alright, that's how you mix a song. I'm not about to sit here and master it, because that's a whole nother dragon. But I'm going to end the video here. Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Iamdices. If you want me to do this to your song, I charge 30, just 30. Hit me up in my email. My email, not the comments. Don't put this in the comments. I barely even read the comments. Just look at my email in the description. Just click the show more button, and it's going to say my email right there. And you just say, I got this song, and I'll mix and master it for you. So, yeah, follow me on Instagram at Iamdices, SoundCloud at Dices. Go check out my new video I did on Meek Mill. Yeah, that one's up. So, yeah, subscribe.